Overheats game time. Konnichiwa Internet, and welcome to my reflections on Nintendo's E3 showing. I'll begin by focusing on the good, and then delve into the not so much. Speaking of the good, during my blabbering, you will be enjoying my gameplay footage from a series of unreleased indie games. Nintendo released 9 of the indie demos that were on the E3 show floor on their eShop, giving us non-E3 going folks a chance to try out games we wouldn't normally get a chance to play. The demos are somewhat short-lived, but if you download them, you are entitled to a 15% discount on the game's release. That's no Steam summer sale, but it's still pretty damn nice for just downloading a demo. Next, I just have to give shoutouts to those Muppets. Those sections were the best part of their digital event. Given that the digital event is supposed to be about games, that's kind of sad for the digital event, but that takes nothing away from how great those bits were. Look, I'm sure it's fairly obvious by now that I'm not young. When I was a kid, Muppets were frickin' awesome. I recognized Jim Henson Productions' hand in those designs and puppet action immediately. Super Mario Maker had turned itself into a must-have title after its showing at the Nintendo World Championships. There was no doubt in anyone's mind that that game is going to be truly special after watching that. Starfox looked incredibly cool. It really drew upon its source material, the N64 game. And look, anytime Nintendo is looking to do something drastically different with gameplay, you can count me in. The game wasn't eye-bleedingly gorgeous, but that doesn't matter. If graphics were that important to me, I would have given up on Nintendo with the Wii. The game certainly doesn't look bad, and keep in mind the team from Platinum Games that pulled off the beautiful Bayonetta 2 is working on it, so I'm sure it'll look plenty spiffy by launch. Fire Emblem looked like a must-buy, and Yoshi's Woolly World looks like it's going to be a ton of fun too. I just hope it isn't too easy. Man, I have been waiting for Xenoblade Chronicles Ents since the day I beat Xenoblade Chronicles. I'll certainly be losing quite a lot of time to that game. Now, Shin Megami Tensei Fire Emblem looks like they are attempting to make the Japanesest game of all times. Localizing a game like that may well be pretty much impossible. Really, why would you? That kind of game appeals to a very specific type of gamer, the kind who would probably dislike any changes made due to any localization attempts. In a game seemingly centering itself around the concept of pop stars and their music, going so far as to hire a professional Japanese music label known as Avex Tracks to use their talent for songs and choreography. I mean, how in the holy land of mushroom princess humping plumbers would you even begin to localize something like that? Seriously. Really, there are only two answers to that question. One is you just don't. Accept the fact that it's going to be born, live, and die in Japan. Or two, let's assume the small foreign audience that would enjoy a game like this would make it profitable enough to localize. You just have to spend good money for a solid translation, not localization, and let it ride on its particular appeal. Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes looks like fun for local play. Federation Force's gameplay and explained concepts strike me in the same way, another super fun local multiplayer game. This is the potential problem I'm foreseeing with both of these games though. They will only be truly fun in co-op, but without voice chat, I fear the fun factor may be exponentially diminished. I mean, really, I don't have any friends who have 3DSs, so... Speaking of Federation Force, what was with the reaction to that game? It's like the internet feels compelled to outdo itself with ludicrous overreactions to anything that even remotely resembles disappointing news. Look, I was really disappointed that that wasn't what we were all pretty much expecting. I was also really disappointed that the next Metroid game we were seeing wasn't going to be on the Wii U. I don't mind the idea of playing a Space Marine in a side story that doesn't involve Samus. I love the idea of expanding the Metroid universe. I've long thought it was the perfect series for such a thing. But I've also never seen the Metroid series as a chibi game. Don't get me wrong, I've personally got nothing against the style. It's just really doesn't feel right with Metroid. I've always kind of seen Metroid as somewhere in between like Alien and Star Wars Republic Commando. Now, if Metroid games were a damn near annual event, a chibi game would probably be fine or even enjoyed as like a lighthearted break from all the intense, serious-ish Metroid games we've been getting every year. But we haven't been getting any Metroid games for 5 years. 5 years since the last Metroid game and 8 years since the last proper Metroid game. Right now was not the time to drop a cute offshoot Metroid on us. Honestly though, that's really the worst of the event. The rest of their stuff, unfortunately, was like 90% stuff we'd already seen several times. I really feel the Big N's hand is starting to show, and it's become clear development for the Wii U and the 3DS is slowing down. The smart money says they are starting to ramp up development for the NX. If that's the case, remember fellow Wii U owners, we still actually have a lot of quality software coming out for the rest of the year. And you know what? If this means the NX could possibly launch with a new open world or Galaxy-style Super Mario game and a proper new Metroid, I'm fine with that. Because realistically, we have no idea what the team that did Super Mario Galaxy has been working on for the past couple of years, and we still haven't seen anything or heard anything from Retro. Lastly, there's Zelda Wii U to talk about. I'll make my prediction short. This game absolutely comes to Wii U, and that's where it stays. Until the NX has been out for about a year. At that time, Nintendo will release a Last of Us GTA 5 style HD remake to take advantage of the NX's better performance. And that's all I've really got on Nintendo for E3, guys. It was pretty boring, just because so much of what we saw is stuff we've been seeing for a couple of years now, it feels like. Maybe it's only been really a year, but it feels like a couple. And the worst part about it all is this mentality is undermining the fact that most of these games look like they're going to be really, really good. So it just makes the E3 feel like more of a fail than it really was, just because of, I guess, fatigue of seeing some of these games so many times. Oh well, that's it for today, Internet. Johnny, bye-bye. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, like it. If you want to see more, click that subscribe button. If you have any questions or suggestions you'd like to throw out there, drop them in the comments section below. That's it for today, Internet. Johnny, bye-bye.